Hey everyone. So today I'm gonna talk to you about something called Kundalini Syndrome. If you don't know what that is, you probably don't need to worry. If you do, or if you meditate, you should probably listen to this video. So what Kundalini Syndrome is, for those who meditate, do yoga and everything, it's basically this rush of energy to your body. Sometimes they call it Kundalini awakening. It's this rush of energy to your body, and your body basically can't handle it, and everybody handles it different ways and everything. But generally, it's not handled very well by most people, unless you're like a guru or a master. If you experience Kundalini Syndrome or Kundalini Awakening, it's the same thing. You generally freak out, and it's generally not a good thing. But it's very hard to find information about this, on YouTube. So I felt like doing it because I recently had a Kundalini Awakening, and it's well, it was rough for a little while. So I'll just tell you the story. So in the beginning of March, which was last month, I want to say it was March 9th or 3rd, whatever, but irrelevant. I wanted to do this meditation. Now, I've been meditating for a while now. I'm very good at it. I got very good at it. I did that, I did Tai Chi, I did Qigong, definitely pronouncing it wrong, but Qigong, whatever. And I got very good at it, I could be in the middle of New York City, all the noise and the bustle, whatever, and I could meditate, and I could just, like, be in a tranquil state of mind. And I got very good at it, and I don't have a teacher, because I can't afford a teacher, I'm poor, it happens. So I'm self-taught, and everyone, I talk to people, and they're like, oh, you should get a teacher, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, I don't have money, I'm doing good by myself, why do I need it, So one day, I was like, well, let me look up meditations on YouTube. I looked up this meditation, chakra meditation, balancing your chakras. Now, to go into specifics, I did Vipassana meditation, which is basically your typical sitting down, meditating, eyes closed, knees crossed, whatever. I did Tai Chi, which is self-explanatory, and Qigong, which is kind of somewhat advanced energy work, but nothing too crazy, So I did this meditation, right? This chakra meditation, balancing your chakras, and I basically was in over my head. I didn't know what I was doing, and once I finished it, it was only like 10 minutes long, Once I finished it, I felt good for a minute. It's like, that was a good one, and I started feeling weird, and I ended up having a panic attack, and for those of you who have ever had a panic, or who have not had a panic attack, it's a terrifying experience. Logic just goes out the window, you freak out, you basically freak out, you think you're gonna die, and I thought I was going to die. I thought, it was stupid. I thought my brain was going to fry. Logic just goes out the window, you're just having a panic attack. And I remember it got so bad, because I live on the 3rd floor, it got so bad that I went downstairs to my grandmother, and I told her, like, I was freaking out, and she's like, what's wrong, but it's hard to explain, like, I did this chakra meditation, now I'm freaking out to this old woman, but I remember she said that I looked really pale, and I'm a Spanish guy, really pale, that's pretty bad. And I thought it was like, after a little while I was able to calm down and fall asleep, because I did it at night. But that wasn't the end of it. I ended up starting getting panic attacks and anxiety attacks, randomly, but it was particularly bad at night, and when you have these things, it doesn't make any sense. Like I said, some of the things when I was having anxiety attacks, some of the things I thought was like, oh, when I fall asleep, I'm never gonna wake up, I'm gonna die, or I can't breathe, even though I was breathing, like, am I gonna choke to death somehow, gonna choke myself to death by not being able to breathe. And you know, one of these things is that these are just fears that you have in the back of your mind, because I know the reason why I had the, you know, choking like to death, not being able to breathe, was because I had a friend who drowned, and you know, just the thought of him, you know, not being able to breathe was really upsetting to me. And then what was the other one? Oh, not sleeping, dying when I was gonna sleep. You know, well, that one was like, oh, you know, then it was like, I'm not gonna be able to fall asleep. I'm gonna, you know, gonna suffer from insomnia, and then I'm not gonna be able to sleep at all, which is this other fear, the stupid fear that I have about this disease that like 1 in like 5 billion people have, where they just can't fall asleep. And you know, I thought I had it for a minute, you know, but the point is, you know, it doesn't make any sense. You know, and I was just like, you know, this never happened to me before. You know, before this, I had only had one panic attack my whole life. And that was because I was generally in danger. You know, I could have seriously gotten hurt in that one instance. But never before, you know. Like, never before I was laying in bed, I would have an anxiety attack or something, you know. So I was freaking out, you know. So, you know, I tried to find information on this, and it was very difficult at first, you know, because I didn't really know what I was looking for. You know, I don't have a teacher or whatever, no one could tell me. But, you know, then I generally found information, you know. And, you know, it was pretty bad at first, because, you know, I was reading stuff like people basically going insane, having nervous breakdowns, having hallucinations, suffering from schizophrenia. You know, all this stuff is very terrifying, you know. And it's just like, it's like, oh my god, you know, I'm gonna have anxiety attacks for the rest of my life, and it's gonna get worse. I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna end up in a mental asylum, you know. But you know, a lot of it was fear tactics. I mean, not fear tactics, not the best word. Just it was overblown. It was blown out of proportion, because it can happen, but you know, it's different for everybody. And in my case, I was suffering from mild Kundalini Syndrome, you know, because anxiety attacks is not really nothing. But I did find 2 videos which were very helpful, and I'll post them on the description on YouTube. And you know, they were great. And then, you know, I know a guy, you know, who does Tai Chi. He's a Tai Chi master. You know, I asked him about it, and you know what happened was that when I did that meditation, I focused too much on my upper chakras, and that's true. And because I hate to say it, I generally do neglect my lower chakras, and you know, I had built up so much chakra, you know, up top, that my body couldn't handle it, you know. So it's just like kind of like exploded, like boom, you know, because you need to balance your chakras, and that I was supposed to balance my chakras in that meditation, and I didn't. You know, I kept it all up top. It completely ignored the bottom, and it just messed up. But you know, those videos help. When I spoke to the guy, it was good, you know, and he knew. It's like, you focus too much. When I spoke to the guy, you focus too much on your upper chakras, you know. So you know, what were some other symptoms? Well, going back, you know, I haven't actually, to be honest, I really have not meditated at all lately, because one of the things is just like to just take a break. And I have taken a break, because I did try after like a week. I did try to meditate again, because I thought, oh, it's over, you know, but I ended up doing Tai Chi, and I ended up feeling like too much energy in my hands. Basically was like my hands were like burning, you know. While I was doing Tai Chi, my hands were burning, you know. I felt all this energy in my hands, and it, you know, freaked me out, you know. You know, but one of the solutions was to, you know, just wait it out. And waiting it out, for the most part, has been good. You know, the panic attacks, the anxiety attacks have slowly ebbed off. I mean, I still get them from now once in a while. I have random bouts of nausea. I had a random bout of nausea yesterday, but I mean, generally speaking, like this whole week, I've been fine. But you know, those first couple days, the first couple weeks after I did that, my Kundalini awakening, it was terrifying. But another one was to do a grounding meditation, which I did do one time, and that did help. But you know, I haven't really touched on it. I probably will again. And then Tai Chi, which Tai Chi helps with grounding as well. And you know, it's just my solution. You know, I was so paranoid because it is a very terrifying experience. Um, I was so paranoid that I didn't want to do it, but now that I know more information about it, just probably gonna slowly get back into it, probably just focus on Tai Chi for now, and then my lower chakras and grounding myself, because that's another thing, they say to ground yourself, which really helps. Nature walks helps, like being outside, and unfortunately I live in a city, pretty poor city too, so it's not like there's like much in terms of forest, nature. But the point is, everyone, a lot of people, are having these syndromes, and they don't really know what to do, and it took me a while to find just those videos from those two guys, which was helpful. So I wanted to make this video. You're not alone. If you're suffering from this, it's tough. You just need to relax. Go outside for a walk, do physical activities, burn it all out. Because I was terrified. I really thought I was gonna has thus be a mental case. Because it's similar to like people who have LSD, take LSD or hallucinogen, and they never really recover, like that's what I thought I was gonna have for a minute, like I was just never really gonna recover with this, I was gonna have panic attacks, all this crazy stuff, but it does, over time it should get better, it might take months, depending on how advanced you were, but generally speaking, it will go away, and your body will be able to learn to handle it. My body learned to handle it. I mean, every once in a while it still pops up, but it's just like, alright, just chill out, man. You know what you gotta do to deal with this. But yeah, don't worry about it. Watch those two videos. If you have any questions, shoot them my way, because I do know I do know a little bit about it. So generally speaking, just be safe. When you're doing this stuff, know what you're doing. If you can afford a teacher, do it. I couldn't afford a teacher, unfortunately, but yeah. Just don't make the same mistake I did and just jump the gun. To do this, I did that meditation. This chakra meditation, which was stupid of me. I'm gonna take a step back now and just stick to like Tai Chi for now, because I know that. But yeah, man, just be safe and don't worry. A lot of people experience it. It's not the end of the world. You're gonna make it through. Alright, thanks.